In the bustling town of Nafia, the red dust of the roads often settled on the grey stacks of Obu Ndi enterprise. This was the kingdom of Emesuanu, a man who took two things very seriously: the strength of his concrete blocks and the volume of his morning prayers. He believed that for a block to be truly unbreakable, it needed exactly 3 parts sand, 1 part cement, and 10 parts hallelujah. His assistant, Uchenna, was a hard-working lad whose primary job was mixing cement, and his secondary job was staying awake during Emesuanwu's 3-hour morning devotions. While Emesuanwu would point at the gravel and command it to be blessed, Uchenna would lean on his shovel, his eyes glazing over. He dreamt of a world where prayers were slightly more aerodynamic. Everything changed on a Tuesday that smelled of approaching rain. Prophetess Ngozi, a woman whose yellow head wraps were so large they had their own weather patterns, marched into the yard. She didn't come to buy blocks for a new fence, but stepped forward with urgency, her presence drawing every eye in the compound. She came with a message that hummed with the power of the ancestors, stopping the cement mixer in its tracks. Emesuanwo, she bellowed, her voice rattling the office windows. The spirits are thirsty. They are tired of your loud hymns and want the sweet sting of palm wine. If you do not build an Obu Ndi Ichie, a grand hall for the elders, your blocks will turn into soft biscuits by the next full moon. Emesuanwu's prayer beads nearly slipped from his trembling fingers. Panic is a powerful motivator. Emesuanwu spent the afternoon staring at a single concrete block, poking it occasionally to see if it had turned into a shortbread cookie yet. By sunset, he made a drastic decision. If the ancestors wanted a hall and palm wine, he would give them the finest tradition Naufia had ever seen. The Bible went on the shelf and the red cap came out of the truck. The next morning, Uchenna arrived to find a transformed boss. Gone was the starched white shirt. Emesuanwu was now draped in heavy chieftaincy regalia, sporting a bright red cap that sat perfectly atop his serious face. He gripped a carved walking stick and paced the yard with a rhythmic, heavy-footed swagger. It suggested he was now in direct communication with several centuries of grandfathers.
She is just like her mother.
We don't just cover events, we create unforgettable experiences.
We turn them into experiences. Every moment is a masterpiece. We take your story to the world. Your story deserves more than a post.
The transition to traditional life had a few bumps, so Emesuanwu attempted his first libation, lifting a calabash of frothy palm wine to the heavens. "For the fathers!" he shouted. But being more used to communion cups than heavy gods, he tipped it too far. Instead of the earth receiving the gift, his expensive leather shoes were treated to a sticky fermented bath. Then came the kola nut ceremony. Emesuanwu tried to break the stubborn nut with his bare hands to show his newfound traditional strength. He grunted, his face turning the color of a ripe tomato, until the nut suddenly launched out of his grip. It whistled past the cement mixer like a tiny brown cannonball, disappearing into a pile of sharp sand. Despite the spills and flying nuts, the Obu Ndi Ichie was built right in the center of the yard.
It was a magnificent hall where local elders sat on leopard print benches, sipping wine and praising Emeswangu's blocks. Uchenna found that a yard filled with storytelling elders was much livelier than one filled with 3-hour sermons. He happily served the palm wine. Reputation. Obu Ndi enterprise became the talk of the state. People loved the traditional blockmaster who could quote a proverb as easily as he could quote a price. Emeswangu realized he could be a man of God in his heart while keeping the ancestors happy in his yard. His blocks remained the strongest in Nafia and they never once tasted like biscuits.